Hey, welcome to another edition of RC's Gadgets, and today I'm going to be showing you how to organize files like Casey Neistat. So I came up with the idea of making this video when I was watching one of Casey's daily vlogs the other day, and he incorporated footage that he took years ago of his little son Owen and things that they did together from back in the day. And I was reading the comment section, and a lot of people were asking how he organizes his footage and if he could make a video on how he organizes his footage. And I was thinking to myself, and I realized that I actually have a really good way of organizing footage on a MacBook. And I don't know if this is exactly how Casey does it, but I'm pretty sure he does something similar, and who knows, my method might even be better than his. So just sit back and hopefully maybe you'll learn something. So just a little background on who Casey Neistat is in case you don't know who he is. He's just a YouTuber, a daily vlogger. He actually recently stopped daily vlogging for a moment just to go on vacation with his wife. But he has a lot of great videos with great stories, and he incorporates a lot of drone footage and great cinematic videography into his vlogs. And his videos are just really interesting, so go ahead and watch it if you don't know who he is already. And you probably, if you're watching YouTube, you probably already do know who he is. Anyways, let's just get into the video, and I'm just going to show you how to organize footage like Casey Neistat, even though I don't even know if that's exactly how he does it. So first things first, you will need two things to do this. The first thing is a MacBook. Now there might be a way to do this on Windows, but I've been a Mac user for like the last 10 years now, and I haven't really looked back. The second thing you're going to need is Adobe Lightroom. Now this is an essential. You don't absolutely need Adobe Lightroom, but I find it will make your life easier because there's a feature inside of Adobe that will automatically organize your files by date and automatically create folders for the specific dates that your footage was taken on. So with that said, let's get into how to organize the footage. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open Lightroom on your Mac. And the easiest way to do this is by using Spotlight. To open Spotlight, there's two ways to do it. One way is you can click the magnifying glass on the top right hand corner of your menu bar, and that's going to open Spotlight Search. The second way to open Spotlight is by using a hotkey, and that is Command Space. It's a really good hotkey to know because I use Spotlight like pretty much regularly, and just knowing that hotkey just saves a lot of time rather than having to go and click it in the top right corner. So now that you have Spotlight Search open, all you have to do is type Lightroom, and as long as you already have the software installed, it should be the top hit in your Spotlight Search. So now that it's there, I'm just going to hit enter, and that's going to launch Lightroom. Okay, after you have Lightroom open, I know the interface looks a little bit intimidating at first if you've never used it, but just bear with me. You're only going to use like pretty much one feature in it right now. You're just going to go to File and go to Import Photos and Video. Alternatively, you can use the keyboard shortcut Command-Shift-I. I'm just going to click on it here, and that's going to open your import dialog box. Inside of your import dialog box, on the left hand side, this is the source. This is where the footage is going to be coming from. I'm just going to select my SD card because that's where I have some sample footage that I put into this card for this specific video. And then in the middle over here, that's going to pull up all the different files that are inside of your SD card. Now by default, these are all going to be selected, but you can also choose to uncheck some of them if you didn't want those to be imported into your into Lightroom. But in this case, I do want everything imported, so I'm just going to choose the check all button. And at the top here, you have a couple different options. I won't get into this first one right now, but this copy option over here, basically what this does is it copies the files from your SD card into a specific folder that you want it to be saved in. That's the one that we're going to be using. You also have Move, which will move the files from the destination you chose into the new destination, and the Add option will just add the files to your Lightroom catalog, but it will leave the files in the same place. In this case, we're going to use Copy, so that way we're not playing with any of the original footage and it's copied into a specific location that we chose on our hard drive. The next thing you're going to want to do is go to this right panel, and this is where the files are going to be saved. We're also going to choose this checkbox here that says Into Subfolder, and that's going to automatically organize our footage by date, and it's going to automatically create folders with the specific dates that your footage was taken on. And the way Lightroom knows what date your footage was taken on is every time you take a picture or video, there is automatically metadata added to your photos or videos, and that's how Lightroom knows the dates that those videos were taken on. The next thing you're going to want to do is choose a folder inside of your hard drive to save your footage in. In this case, I'm going to be saving it inside of pictures and then a specific folder called Lightroom. And as you can see, Lightroom has already said that it's going to create these folders, one for 2012, one for 2013, and one from 2016, and it automatically creates different folders for those different dates that the footage was taken on. After that's all done, you're going to hit the import button. So we're just going to wait for all this footage to be imported. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, great. So all the footage is now imported, and you can see that it created folders here on the sidebar with the different years that this footage was taken, and it also has different folders for the different dates. Now I'm also going to open up Finder by using the command shortcut Command Option Spacebar. That's going to open your Finder, and we're just going to navigate to that folder that it saved those files in. As you can see, the folders are here exactly as they are in Lightroom. It has a different folder for all the different years, and it also has folders for all the specific dates that it was saved on. Now you might be wondering, okay, that's great that it's organized by date now, but how am I supposed to find footage from like 5 years ago when all I have is dates? Like, how am I supposed to know exactly what happened in 2012 on February 26th? Well, I have you covered there too, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. The key that you're going to use here is keywords. And the great thing about using Mac is there's a keywords feature automatically incorporated into the operating system. And to access it, all you have to do is right click any file or folder and go to Get Info. Alternatively, you can also use the keyboard shortcut Command I, but I'm just going to click on it here, and inside of this dialog box there's a lot of different information. There's like some metadata here. It tells you when the files were created, where it's saved. But the one that we're going to be using here is the tags feature, and tags is just really another form of keywords. And if you click on this, it's going to show you some keywords that you've already used previously if you have used them. But you can also enter in new keywords here, and there's also a comment section over here that you can just type comments into. So before we get into that, let's just watch some of this footage and see exactly what's on it. So February 26th.
Okay, so this here's the beach.
Okay. So that was footage from my Cuba trip from 2012, which is quite a couple years ago.
So we are chilling on the beach right now.
So yeah, it's just like footage from Cuba. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna click Get Info, and I'm just gonna type in what kind of footage that was. So I'm just gonna use some keywords here. I'll type in Cuba. I'll type in beach, right? Over here, I'll just put Cuba trip. You don't even have to do that, but it's just an option, another option for you to find it. So I'm going to do that. After you're done, just close the dialog box, go to your next folder, see what kind of footage is in here. This is actually the most tedious part of this whole process because you have to actually look at what's in the footage so that way you can categorize it properly. So I can see from all that footage that was from whitewater rafting in British Columbia. So I'm just gonna go here and add in some keywords. Let's type in whitewater rafting. Let's type British Columbia. Perfect. Let's go to our next folder. Let's see what's in here. I can see that those are crabs. That was from my Quran trip. I just know that from watching the footage. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna hit Command I. Instead of typing keywords, I'm just gonna type here. I'm just gonna put Quran trip. Whoops, it auto-corrected my Quran. I'm just gonna type that again. So that was Quran trip. Here I'll type Philippines, right? So that's pretty much it. It's pretty basic. Let's just close Finder. Let's close everything actually. Okay, great. Now that we have all the different files keyworded, how are we gonna find that footage? Well, there's a couple ways you can do this. One of them is using Spotlight, but in this case, we're just gonna use the Finder search. To open the Finder search, it's almost like opening Spotlight, except the only difference is you're gonna hold the Option key as well. So Command Option Spacebar. That's gonna open a Finder window, and it's automatically gonna bring you to the search section. So inside of here, we're gonna type some keywords. Let's say I want footage from my Cuba trip. Let's type in Cuba. And as you can see, one of the options that it gives you is the folder that we keyworded. So if I double click this folder, what do you know? It's like all the files from the Cuba trip. So that's like one way to do it. Let's say I wanted to find footage from the whitewater rafting trip. Let's type in whitewater rafting. There you go. Here's the whitewater rafting folder. See? Easy as pie, guys. Easy as pie to find these different files. So just a few things I forgot to mention when I originally made the recording. One of the things is if you don't have Lightroom, you'll just have to categorize the files manually. You'll just have to make different folders for the different dates, or you could just leave them all in the same folder and keyword all the different files individually. So that's an option for you if you don't use Lightroom. But if you do plan on using Lightroom, you can purchase it from the Adobe website. It charges a fee of, I believe, $20 a month for the time that you have it, and you can cancel at any time. And they also have a bundle where I think you can pay like $50 a month and you'll have like access to all the different elements of the whole Adobe suite. So that's one of the things I forgot to mention. The other thing I forgot to mention is in Finder, if you have all the folders like this and you kind of wanted to know at a glance exactly what was in all of these folders, you could switch it to the list view. To go to the list view, you can either go to the view menu and go to list. You can also hit Command 2, or you can click this icon right here, which will go to list view. Under list view, there's going to be different options here. If you click on any of these top ones, it will automatically arrange the files in there by that specific field. But if I wanted to know what was in these folders, for example, I can actually right click this and choose comments. And if you guys remember, the comment section is where we added comments on the info panel. And as you can see, it will give you at a glance all the different comments that you put on all those different files. Alternatively, if you want to see the tags that you added, you can also go to the tag section and add those as well. I actually don't add tags to any of my files because I feel that the comments is already sufficient. But if you had any tags that you added to those files, they would show up in this column over here. Lastly, I was showing you guys how to find the files using the Finder search, but another option that you guys have of locating the files is also using Spotlight, like I mentioned before. So for example, if I wanted to find this file here, for example, that says Digital Dreams Day 1, if I was to open Spotlight using that hotkey again, Command Space Bar, and typing Digital Dreams, you can see that it gives me two options because one of those dates was from Digital Dreams Day 2 and one was from Digital Dreams Day 1, and it gives me both those options. But if I was to type Day 1 in here, that would make the search more narrow and it would only give me the option for Day 1, which as you can see was taken on July 2nd, 2016. So anyways, yeah, those were the three things I forgot to mention. Hopefully that was helpful. But yeah, that's pretty much how I organize my footage. Maybe Casey does something similar, but I hope for those of you that don't know how to organize footage and how to find footage from years ago, this will definitely be a way for you to be able to do that. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you know anybody that was looking for this kind of information and you think it might be helpful for them, just send them the link. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button, guys. Thanks.